You still need a productive running back or two to win in today's NFL.
Things to shake him free.
Running play for Warren. Jalen Warren rips through for the touchdown.
The best teams tend to have more than one good back. With that said, let's rank all 32 current number 2 running backs from worst to first. Number 32, Trayvon Williams, Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Mixon has had a solid bounce-back campaign, but he's getting next to no support from his fellow RBs in the ground game. Williams has seen very little playing time and thus has not provided a spark in this offense whatsoever. Number 31, Chase Edmonds, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Edmonds missed 4 games to injury and has barely been noticeable with the ball in his hands. In that Week 9 loss to Houston, Edmonds had 3 carries for -5 yards. Yeah, that sums up his season pretty dang well. Number 30, Zamir White, Las Vegas Raiders. White had just 70 rushing yards on 17 carries in his rookie season with the Raiders a year ago, and he's been no better supplementing Josh Jacobs here in 2023. Not a good look for White, and the fact that Trey Tucker has a legitimate chance to finish ahead of White as the Raiders' number 2 rusher this year. Number 29, Ty Chandler, Minnesota Vikings. If Cam Akers didn't suffer a season-ending Achilles tear, the Vikings' RB2 would rank higher on this list. But Akers' unfortunate injury thrust Ty Chandler in the number 2 back role. Not that he's really been up for the challenge or anything. Chandler has done nothing except remind many that they ought to upgrade their running back depth chart next year. Number 28, Tank Bigsby, Jacksonville Jaguars. For a man of his size and with the nickname Tank, Bigsby shouldn't be averaging roughly 2.5 yards per carry. Doug Peterson has a darn good reason for giving Bigsby very few carries this year. Number 27, Matt Breida, New York Giants. Breida is barely seeing the ball with Saquon Barkley playing some of his best football yet. Breida is serviceable as an RB2 and his name is called upon, but the ex-49er isn't gonna wow anyone these days at this phase of his career. Number 26, Elijah Mitchell, San Francisco 49ers. Since Christian McCaffrey is running away with the rushing title, the 49ers haven't had to give their other RBs much playing time. Mitchell, who nearly rushed for 1,000 yards in his rookie 2021 season, has quickly become an afterthought in San Fran. Number 25, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kansas City Chiefs. So, CEH's breakout year in Kansas City was never gonna come.
It's never gonna happen.
Dude, you gotta believe.
Kansas City's 2020 first-round pick is on pace to set career lows across the board by a country mile. Good news, he's a free agent to be, and will thus get a fresh start somewhere else. Number 24, Jamal Williams, New Orleans Saints. Williams has been one of the most disappointing free agent signings of 2023, to say the very least. Even with Alvin Kamara suspended for the first 3 games, Williams did next to nothing in his place. Number 23, Dalvin Cook, New York Jets. The Jets paired the 4-time Pro Bowler and 1,000-yard rusher with Aaron Rodgers and rising star RB Breece Hall for 162 yards and 0 touchdowns through the Jets' first 11 games? Oy vey. Number 22, Antonio Gibson, Washington Commanders. Gibson's 1K rushing season from 2021 feels like a lifetime ago now. Brian Robinson Jr. has taken over as the lead back in DC. Couple that with Sam Howell's dynamic dual-threat game, and the opportunities for Gibson are few and far between these days. Number 21, Kenneth Gainwell, Philadelphia Eagles. Gainwell only sees so many touches in an offense featuring Jalen Hurts, DeAndre Swift, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Dallas Goedert. But when he does get the ball, Gainwell makes his fair share of big plays as a runner and receiver. He should put up just over 400 yards of offense for the 3rd straight year, which, is more than enough for Nick Sirianni in this star-studded offense. Number 20, Amari DeMarcado, Arizona Cardinals. The undrafted product out of TCU has found a nice home here in Jonathan Gannon's offense. DeMarcado hasn't seen much playing time with James Conner and a now healthy Kyler Murray leading the rushing game, but he showed some flashes with that 78-yard outing against a stingy Baltimore defense back in Week 8. Number 19, Tyjae Spears, Tennessee Titans. The rookie 3rd-round pick out of Tulane has done an admirable job as Derrick Henry's understudy in Music City. Spears is averaging around 5 yards per carry and has been an underrated pass-catching weapon out of the backfield for Mike Vrabel's offense. Number 18, Royce Freeman, Los Angeles Rams. Freeman's reliable play prompted Sean McVay and company to cut ties with Darrell Henderson after starting RB Kyren Williams returned from injury. Freeman surpassed 70 yards rushing in the Rams' Week 11 and Week 12 wins over Seattle and Arizona respectively. He didn't offer much in the passing game, but is more than useful as the RB2 in La La Land. Number 17, Latavius Murray, Buffalo Bills. James Cook is having a career year, and Josh Allen is again taking over games with his legs and his arm. As such, Murray's slice of the pie in Buffalo's rushing game can only be so big. But the former Raiders Pro Bowler has been a super reliable RB2 for the Bills. Number 16, Keaton Mitchell, Baltimore Ravens. Mitchell has become a weapon in the Baltimore offense since his Week 9 breakout game against the Seahawks, in which he racked up 138 yards rushing and a touchdown. Obviously, the undrafted rookie out of East Carolina can't expect too many reps with Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson there. But as we've seen since Week 9, Mitchell is more than capable of carrying the rushing game if the occasion calls for it. Number 15, Kareem Hunt, Cleveland Browns. Hunt won the rushing title in his 2017 rookie year. It's unfortunate that he got into some off-field troubles, which ended his tenure in Kansas City. He has done very well in Cleveland, but of course, there is no way of unseating Nick Chubb as the starter. Number 14, Miles Sanders, Carolina Panthers. Carolina handed Sanders a 4-year pact worth $25.4 million after tallying his first 1,000-yard season in Philly, and the early returns aren't pretty. Sanders simply wasn't cutting it as Carolina's RB1 for Bryce Young, so third-year product Chubba Hubbard has taken over as the new lead rusher. But given Sanders' career body of work and superior stats to other RB2s, he's still out of rank in the top half here. Carolina's next head coach in 2024 has a lot of work ahead of him. Among them, getting Sanders back on track following a forgettable first year with the Panthers. Number 13, Rico Dowdle, Dallas Cowboys. Many expected Deuce Vaughn to step in as Dallas's number 2 RB following a dazzling preseason, but it's actually third-year back Rico Dowdle complimenting Tony Pollard in the backfield. If Pollard leaves in free agency, Dowdle just might get the chance to audition for the new RB1 role in Dallas. Number 12, Dameon Pierce, Houston Texans. Pierce had an excellent rookie season in 2022 by tallying 1,104 yards of offense and 5 total touchdowns despite missing 4 games. But Pierce has been hit hard by the sophomore slump in year 2, and it has prompted head coach DeMeco Ryans to make veteran Devin Singletary the Texans' new lead RB. Number 11, Joshua Kelly, Los Angeles Chargers. Austin Eckler missed time and hasn't been his usual explosive self this year in a lost season for the Bolts. On the bright side, Kelly has pieced together by far his best campaign yet. If Kellen Moore continues to utilize him right, Kelly should hit the 500-yard rushing mark for the first time in his career. Number 10, Ezekiel Elliott, New England Patriots. Amid a miserable season in New England, Elliott has at least done his job as Ramondre Stevenson's understudy. Almost nothing has gone right for the Patriots in this humiliating season, but the 2-time rushing champ has made the most of the limited action he's seeing. Number 9, Zach Charbonnet, Seattle Seahawks. Seattle surprised many by taking Charbonnet in the second round despite already having a star RB in Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet was always going to see limited usage as a rookie, but he has shown some promise with the ball in his hands. This bruising back is averaging around 4.5 yards a carry. Number 8, A.J. Dillon, Green Bay Packers. With Aaron Jones missing time due to injury, the bruising Dillon has seen far more reps than usual. He's not playing up to his usual standards, but Dillon is making the most of what he has with a mediocre offensive line and no more Aaron Rodgers at QB. Number 7, Samaje Perine, Denver Broncos. There's a debate that Jaleel McLaughlin should be the RB2 here, but Perine's better all-around play and valuable production in the passing game gives him the nod here. Nonetheless, the Broncos have a scary 3-headed monster at RB that has them in position to end an 8-year playoff drought. Perine is on pace to finish with a career high in yards from scrimmage, and he's already set a career high in receiving. Number 6, Jahmyr Gibbs, Detroit Lions. Was surprised to see Detroit select Gibbs 12th overall, since they already had David Montgomery as their lead back, but Montgomery and Gibbs have quickly formed arguably football's best running back tandem here in 2023. And it has Detroit in position to win its first division title in 30 years. Number 5, D'Onta Foreman, Chicago Bears. There's a case to be made that Foreman should be made the new RB1 over Khalil Herbert. If he didn't miss 4 games due to injury, Foreman could have pushed for his first 1,000-yard campaign. But hey, being a top 5 RB2 in the league is nothing to be ashamed of either. Number 4, Tyler Algier, Atlanta Falcons. As expected, Allgeier's playing time has decreased following the arrival of hotshot first-round pick Bijan Robinson. He's not the RB1 anymore, but Allgeier is still holding up his end of the bargain in Atlanta's offense. Number 3, Devon Achane, Miami Dolphins. Unbelievable! Before he landed on the IR, the lightning-quick Achane had a ridiculous 460 rushing yards over his first 4 NFL games, and 5 rushing touchdowns, and 2 receiving TDs. Achane was on pace for over 1,000 yards rushing as Raheem Mostert's backup before his injury. That is how good the Texas A&M product has been, and you can bet Achane would have landed in the top spot here if he didn't miss that time. Number 2, Jaylen Warren, Pittsburgh Steelers. Where would the Steelers' offense be without the dynamic rushing duo of Warren and Najee Harris? They won't fix what isn't broke, but you get the feeling that Warren has several multiple 1K rushing seasons ahead of him. Number 1, Zach Moss, Indianapolis Colts. You know you're the league's best RB2 when you're flirting with the top 10 spot in league rushing. Several injuries have sidelined Jonathan Taylor for most of the regular season, but the Colts' running game has not missed a beat. Acquired from Buffalo last year, Moss has already set career bests in rushing yards and TDs, and he's on pace to hit 1,000 yards for the first time. But who do you think is the NFL's best backup running back right now? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.